Hello, everybody. Hopefully you can see me all right. Hi, this is Kim. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my live view. Hang on one second. Oops, sorry. I didn't want to do that. 1 second. Sorry about that noise. My fault. I wish there was a way I could do this without being online, but it just isn't possible. All right, let's see. One second here.
Motion detected at the front door.
Oh, I guess my husband just walked in the door. All right, there's that. Okay. Let me pull you up here so I can see the comments. I hope you guys are doing good today. I've had a really great day. Ooh, there's 15 people already. Hello, everybody. Let's see. I have Dee. Hi, nice to see you. Kathy Ann, Debbie, Deborah, Teresa. Hello, everybody. And Joyce. Hello from Louisville, Kentucky. Great to have you guys. Well, I almost didn't make it on here today because my internet was out all day and it got fixed at 2 o'clock. So that's why it took me a little longer to set things up because I wasn't quite as prepared as I normally am. So how are you all doing? And what are you sewing? And how are things going for you? Yeah, are you reading any good books? There's a lot of sewing books that have a thread of sewing in them, you know, like, well, The Gown is one of my favorite old ones. And then the Paris Dressmaker is a new one, and I haven't read it yet. I'm going to read it on vacation, I think. But if you know any good books, throw them out there. Let's see. Hi, Gail. Nice to see you too. Hello, Fernando from Spain. Nice. I don't think we've ever had anybody from Spain. Hi. Welcome. Elaine is here from Scotland. And Gail is here. Nice. All right. So this morning I got up and my internet was out. And I called our internet provider and I told them, and she said, well, you were supposed to get a new modem because it was outdated technology, which could explain why we've been having some of these issues, you know, on some of our chats where it just freezes up. So I said, well, you know, can we get one today? And she said, yeah, you can go and pick it up at the store. And so that was like about 25 miles from here. So after church, we ran down there and got it, hooked it up, and it wasn't working. And I was like starting to think, oh no, I'm not going to be able to have a chat again. So I was able to call and they walked me through it. They had given us the modem, but they hadn't like activated it. So they activated it on the phone and we're good. So I was able to make chat after all. So anything new with anybody? Hi, Verna. Nice to see you. Hi, Diane. Dee says she has a blouse cut out of rayon, but I'm so used to sewing with knits, I'm afraid to start sewing it. Yeah, I know you can get in a rut with knits real easy. I'm kind of itching to sew some wovens right now. I'm testing the new blouse from Love Notions, and that's a woven, and I'm kind of excited about doing that. Yeah, I hear ya. Gonna make a cadence dress that's woven for my trip, a maxi. So that'll be fun. Let's see. Deborah says, just had a pop for the sewing machine book on Audible. Oh, cool. The sewing machine book on Audible. Huh. Is that like a nonfiction book or like a how-to? I'd love to know. Let's see. Cut out a Rhapsody. Yep. It's the new pattern's vaguely similar to Rhapsody, actually, but I really like it. Just testing like started today, so I don't have any nuggets for you yet because I haven't actually worked with it, but she's been teasing it all over. I mean, if you've been on her Instagram, she's been showing it all over the place. Oh, let's see. Chris, hi, nice to see you. Hi, Joey. Oh, thank you so much for popping in here. I want you to give us an update on how we can pray for Rob. If you have not been on our Facebook group, Joey's going through a bit of a rough time. Her husband has COVID and wasn't doing well, and I'm hoping that she has better news for us today. But we are praying for her and thinking of her. And she's been in our Facebook group. Joey's been in this group, I think, from about the beginning. So, yeah, I've been thinking about you a lot, Joey. And every time I, think of you, I say a little prayer. So hopefully that those are adding up to a lot of hounding of heaven. I've said some long prayers for you too, but, just God brings you to my mind a lot. So, I hope everything is going better. Let's see. Tracy, hi. Nice to see you here. I know I've seen you on the Facebook group. I'm glad you're here. Let's see. Verna's cutting out a crinkle rayon for the Rhapsody. Yeah, oh, that works. Blah. Sorry, I can't talk. Crinkle rayon is great for the Rhapsody. I have one in a rayon, and then I have one in a cotton lawn. I did not like the cotton lawn for the Rhapsody at all. It was just looked too much like a quilted cotton gathered shirt. It wasn't. It was cotton lawn. I thought it would be special, but it wasn't thin enough, so it didn't look that great. But the rayon one, oh yeah. Let's see. Oh, it's a novel about Singer's sewing machine. Oh, wow. I bet you that would be good. I heard there was like some scandal about who actually invented the sewing machine. So that would be interesting to read it in a fiction perspective. Sorry, I feel cold today, so I keep pulling my sleeves down. Let's see. Anne says, lots of fabric, lots of patterns, no sojo. Any thoughts? Well, give yourself a break. Don't, watch a movie or something. I did a whole video on that once, but do something else that's creative can sometimes help. Like, if you knit or paint or, even cooking can do that sometimes. Just do something else that's creative that'll feed that right side of your brain. You got to stay in that right side of your brain that's creative to want to do it. And then there's also, though, the little bit of left side in your brain that makes you want to like sort of stay organized too. So it's a little bit of a both sides of your brain activity. But I think really sojo comes from the right side, in my opinion, because it's the dreamer side. It's the side that thinks up all the ideas. And so, yeah, I think if you maybe got, kept that side of your brain active, watch a musical, that's a great way because you're just sort of like tapping into that emotional right side. Look at the costumes, go to the art museum, anything you can do to sort of stimulate that creative juice, that will help. But sometimes just taking a break, and then you want to do it. You're not doing it because you have to. You're doing it because you want to. Oh, let's see. And about anybody else, jump in if you've got surefire ways to help your sojo. Let's see. Hi, Diane. Let's see. Anne says, waiting for fabric to make the Rhapsody. Okay, good. Verna's worried about the fit because she made one last summer from a one-way stretch, so I know this won't fit the same. No, it probably won't, although rayon can be pretty forgiving, but just go by your measurements, and if you're in doubt, it's always better to err on the side of being larger because you can always cut it down. But you also don't want it to be fitting like a bag either. So yeah, it probably won't be as far off as you think. I don't think it will. Hi, Brenda. Good to see you. Let's see. Tracy's making a mock-up of a Simplicity Learn to Sew skirt pattern. That's awesome. I did a video of just the review of the Rhapsody. I did not do a tutorial. I should, because the neckline, it's easy once you get it, but if you haven't done a bias binding, it is a little daunting. Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles has done a ton of tutorials on the Rhapsody, and I actually think she put one up on Love Notions channel this week, because once in a while we all take our turn doing something on the Love Notions channel, and I think her turn was this week, and she put up something about doing the bias binding on the Rhapsody, so you might want to check that out. I haven't had a chance to watch it this week. It's been a super busy week. Let's see. All right. Let's see. The book was great. Awesome. I'm going to check that out. Let's see. I play upbeat music. Yep, that's a good one. Yeah, play some, Build Me Up Buttercup or whatever you listen to. Something upbeat. Let's see. Joy says, I'm off Westport. Oh, you're in the same town, you and Brenda? That's cool. Let's see. All right. What fabric is good to make a Rhapsody for fit? Well, a good, any of those silky knits that sometimes, or not knits, any of those silky solids that, or prints, that like Joann's will have on sale sometimes, the silky ones. Some of them are rayon, some of them are just, there's a lot of woven, like silky ones. Those are really good. You want something with a little bit of drape, because like a quilting cotton just doesn't have enough drape. I made one. It was not that good out of, like I said, it was a cotton lawn, but it was almost as thick as quilting cotton, and it didn't have any drape. It wasn't that pretty. But I also did one with some sheer chiffon, which I think might have been a rayon, and that one just hangs lovely. So, all right. Michelle's making up the Hepburn shorts from Pattern Emporium. Ooh, I have to go find those. I love the name because I love Audrey Hepburn. Verna wants to do the Rhapsody back with no ties, where it continues across the top. Oh, the Rhapsody hack. Okay, so yeah, where it just goes like you have a bar here or a little piece of fabric. Yeah, that's a nice hack. That's pretty easy to do. She did it and it looks great. Awesome. Paula says hello. Nice to see you too, Paula. Let's see. Ruth says hi. Hello to Ruth. You guys are neighbors, huh? Rayon does lose its shape. What you have to do is you have to do a lot of stay stitching. What it does is it grows on you. So as you're working on it, it kind of like can misshape. So you got to do stay stitching, and you also need to like handle it carefully. It's not one you want to handle a lot. You want to try really hard not to have to rip things out because that'll stretch it out a little bit. It's because the threads are kind of loose, so it'll really spread on you. Ouch, something bit me there. But that's what I would do, is just go ahead and do a bunch of stay stitching, and just, it's one of those things with rayon. If you can sit down and sew it the same day, it's much better with something like that, because if it sits around and you move it a lot and you pick it up a lot, you could kind of stretch it out of shape. Once you sew it, it's fine, because it's anchored in all the right places. You're putting interfacing in the places where you don't want it to stretch out, so it's fine. But just while you're sewing it, you have to just kind of be really careful not to handle it too much. That's with rayon Charlee. Not all rayon is that way, but rayon Charlee is that way. Hi, Ruth. Let's see. I've heard rayon. Good morning from New Zealand. Good morning, Michelle. Nice to have you here. Brendan, no, poly is just different. I don't know that it's better, but it's just whatever you like. Like a polyester crepe is like really nice for that kind of thing too. I love like a floral polyester. I'm going to show you some fabric here. One second. If I can get back here. Like my new vacation dress here. I'm going to be doing a video on this one probably this week. This is the Cassidy from 5 out of 4 patterns. All right, so this is like a crinkle crepe. It's not rayon for sure. And it's a tiny bit see-through, but not much. I'll probably wear a cami. But I think I'm going to do the tester version of the new top from Love Notions out of this. But it's almost like a crepe. But anything that has these little frays on the end, those are the things you got to be careful to not stretch out your pattern pieces out. But this one's pretty taut. This is polyester for sure. But rayon will stretch. But just interface where you can. I've already had it where I was using a rayon Charlee, stretched it out too much, and then the collar didn't fit the blouse. So you really have to be. I ended up taking a couple pleats in it or something. I don't remember how I fixed it. I mean, it turned out okay, but I handled the fabric just way too much, and that's what happens. Yeah, you could use a crinkle rayon, Kathy Ann, as long as you're just, I think crinkle rayon might not be as easy to go out of shape as a Charlee would be. Thank you. That is from, this fabric is from Fabric Mart. It was in one of my mystery boxes that I got from there, and I love it. I've been just dying to do something with it. And so I think this, if you've been on Love, if you haven't seen it, go on Love Notions Instagram. I can't tell you much about it because, I'm kind of sworn to secrecy, but then she's been sharing about it. So, but she's got a top that she was working on in development, and testing for that just started today. So I'm excited about that one. I think I can squeeze it in before vacation and take it with me. So yeah, I'm in full get ready for Mexico mode now. We leave 2 weeks from yesterday. So Joey, before we lose you, because I know your time is limited, can you give us an update of how things are going? Thanks, Ruth. I don't know if Joey's still on or not. I was hoping to hear how things were going for her. I know it was really rough. If you're not on our Facebook group, I would love for you to join. I, sometimes people will share things they're going through there, and I encourage that, because I mean, I think we're all here to support each other. If you don't like those kind of posts, you can scroll right by. But I think we're here to support each other, lift each other up in prayer, and that's what humans are supposed to do for each other. So, um, I've never had any complaints, but if you do go to our Facebook group and you come across a post like that and you think, oh, that's not sewing related, it might not be, but it's about sewing friends. So if you want to just scroll by that one, because if you don't like that, I just think it's important. Yes, mine too, Michelle. I can't even. Yes, I do not shorten tops, Verna, because I have a very long waist. We are about the same height, I think, but I have no legs and a long body, so I actually lengthen my tops usually. So I might not be quite as shaped the same as you, but no, I end up adding about an inch to just about every top. So I think when if we stood in line for body parts, I think I must have been late for the leg, um, the leg waiting line, because I didn't get any. I got tree trunks. They're just this, that, or that long. Yeah, then if you have a long torso, then that answers your question. You know, usually you can measure the back waist on a pattern pretty easily. Usually the waistline will be marked, and then you can tell if you're longer, then you're going to want to add that length. My length is more through here, so I'm usually adding on to the bodices of things quite often. It's not really from here to here, but it's from here to between here and here. And if I don't add length, I'm usually sorry, because then once it's been washed a little bit, and I take such good care of my laundry, I never dry anything in the dryer hardly at all, but they still crawl up a little bit with time. Yeah, mine too, Verna. My butt's built too close to the ground. Yeah, but we're more stable. They can't knock us over, right? My husband used to call me a weeble. It's mean, isn't it? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Yep, mine too. We ought to have maybe if we put all our legs together, we'd have a really tall person. That is great. So, anybody have questions today? I guess we talked about fabric. Anybody using any interesting fabrics? Like I said, I've been wanting to do a woven or two. So I'm going to do this, I think, in that new top, and then I might even do the dress version. I haven't decided. Um, I have this. When we were getting ready to leave for Mexico last year, my husband picked this out at Hobby Lobby, and he said, "Oh, that would be such a pretty long flowy dress for you for Mexico." So then we didn't go. This was going to be like the last minute thing I was going to make. We ended up canceling our trip on that Thursday because it was the weekend that everything hit the what with COVID. So we didn't go, and I didn't make the dress. So this is going to be my cadence. So I'm excited. I just checked my cadence pattern. I laid it on the table, and I had the projector file projected onto it to make sure that it was lined up. it was perfect. So that method, it really does a great job. Just thought I'd check and see, if I could, because I'd done that before, but I'd never actually double checked it, and it really does work well. The one thing I did notice with the calibration, though, is that like mine is normally 72% for patterns, but I didn't make my document the normal size of the documents that they usually do for projector patterns. So the zoom level was different. So just all you have to do is just, use one of these and get it right, back on track. So anyway, it was pretty simple. I thought. So, all right, let's see. Jana's trying to get her tension sorted out. Yeah. So Joey says he's still in the ICU in critical care. It's limited what he can do, but he still says he's going to fight. Good. He has vents, so this was hand signals to me. So you're able to see him now. That's really good. I'm glad you're able to see him. Teresa's in the leg club too. Ruth says, Ruth had to go. Okay, nice to see you, Ruth. Let's see. Oh, you have the same fabric. Did your hubby pick it out? I have some new sort of lavender kind of color earrings. It's going to look good. And let's see. Oh, you're going to have 90 to 100 right around the corner. Yeah. Wovens are nice in the summertime, especially linen. Linen's a great fabric in the summer. I like cotton knits in the summertime, but this is double brushed polyester. This is definitely a spring top. And I'm just falling all out of this, aren't I? Sorry, ladies. Let's see. Brenda started a pair of pajama pants for her hubby. Didn't have enough fabric. That's so frustrating. I started a Whistler one time, the Whistler pattern from Love Notions on this beautiful French terry. And then I realized that I didn't have enough fabric, and there's nothing that I could match it to. The pieces, it just wouldn't have been right. So I put that aside and thought, well, I could cut something for the kids out of the pieces. I just haven't done that yet. So I'm not going to let it go to waste, but I was really mad because it was really pretty. Let's see. Yes, God is awesome, Brenda. Most definitely. I'm glad, yeah, I too am glad he wants to fight. I wanted to cry. I just can't imagine what you're going through. Lisa says, sewing some double gauze for the first time. Yes, double gauze is another one, just like a rayon challis, maybe even more so. It's very, you know what, I think my microphone is stretching out my top. I'm going to lay it down on the thing instead of wear it. Maybe it won't stretch out then. Double gauze stretches like rayon challis does, and just got to make sure you do that stay stitching. Sometimes if it's stretchy enough, you can treat it like a knit almost, but not one with very good recovery, because it's stretchy, it doesn't really come back. Thanks, Brenda. I think Kevin just thought that too, so he grabbed that for me. It was so sweet. I had to buy it when he said that. Of course, he bought it for me, but I was looking at something else, and when he said that, I thought, he never says anything to me like that. So I definitely have to finish that before we leave. Maybe not last minute this time, too. Because there were places I could have worn it this year. I could have worn it to church last summer, but I just didn't make it. I just was so upset that we didn't get to go that I didn't even look at that stuff for a while. Elaine says, loving hugs to Joey. Yep, definitely. Patricia, oh, hi, you're not late. There's no such thing as late. We just come as you are whenever. So let's see, Teresa. Hello from Dallas. Nice to see you. I love Texas. That's my second home. Dee says I'm going to Alabama in July, which is why I decided to go with the rayon. Good choice. I thought several pieces of woven fabric, so I need to get on over my fear. Oh yeah, definitely. Just do it. Like sometimes the hardest part is just getting started. Just get it cut out. And then, the next day, sew the first step. And the next day, and by then you're going to be so into it, you're just going to finish it. And you don't have to have that be the only thing you work on that day. I don't know why we get in this mindset where I have to have only one project at a time. If something is going to take a while, you still need to feed that sort of instant gratification. You can be doing this woven project that's going to take time at the same time as you're hammering out some t-shirts. So don't be afraid to interject some other things too that might help with your sojo, because when you see things that are done, I don't know anything that helps sojo more than seeing something done. You could use a double gauze for the Rhapsody, but I wouldn't make it my first one because double gauze can be a little tricky to work with. But it would be very pretty. If you know how to work with that kind of fabric, you'll be fine. But let's see. Hello from rainy Pennsylvania. Hi back from rainy Ohio because it's pretty rainy here today too. We're sending more your way, pretty much. Verna says she's going to her grandson's college graduation in May in Virginia. Oh, how nice. PhD in biomedical engineering. That is awesome. Congrats to him. Graduations are fun. You're going to make a new outfit or wear one of the ones you're already making. I have made the Breckenridge. I tested the Breckenridge. I love that top very much. Sleeves run small. As you can tell, I have problems with sleeves. And I think, with these, they fit. It's just that they're not long enough. So I feel like I have to keep pulling them down so that the really fat part of my bicep isn't sticking out all the time. So I should probably next time lengthen these about an inch and they'll be so much better. Just learned that about myself actually. It was like, because I would do elbow ones and I would like them, but then they were kind of hot and they were too long, even for summer anyway. So, and then I just, if I would just lengthen this by about an inch, it'd be perfect. So that's what I'm going to do from now on. Breckenridge is great. It's super easy to do the placket too. It's a real easy one to do, and yeah, it's really nice. But the sleeves are small, so if you ever have to do a full bicep adjustment, you will have to do one with that. I did it without, and now I like that top, but it's not as comfortable as some of my other tops. And then so for the tester, you have to make the size you're given, and you can't make any changes for the first one. So that's the one that has a little bit tight. It fits and it looks nice, but it's a little snug in the arms. And so then when I made the final version, I went ahead and um, did a full bicep adjustment, and that just feels so much better, so much better. Let's see. Oh my goodness, you were gifted a Bernina. Could it be something I'm doing, like is my thread? Well, that could be part of it. Some machines are real finicky about thread. Um, I think though, when they are, there's probably an underlying thing wrong, because I mean, it should, it's a sewing machine, it really shouldn't be that finicky, but um, could just be your timing that might need to be adjusted. Try, so you're getting little thread nests underneath, is that what you're saying? It could just be, are you taming your threads really well? And are you using a walking foot could help that also, or use your hump jumpers when mine are back here somewhere. I have mine constantly laying on my machine because I use them all the time. Even with my AccuFeed, sometimes if you're starting at the very beginning of a piece of fabric, it doesn't have anything in the back to grab onto. You just need to give it that little push. So hump jumper, I'd swear by that thing. I mean, you don't have to use a plastic thing. You could use a piece of fabric sort of folded just enough to keep the presser foot level. That's the goal. Because if if you have thick stuff, I don't know if you can see this here, your presser foot's going to go like that, and then it's just going to kind of stall, just like if your snow was going into it, or your car was going into a snowbank, right? So you have to level it out. So that's all the hump jumper just comes along and keeps that level so that it will just keep going. It doesn't have anything like this blocking it. So, um, and that could be, when it starts to jam, that's when those little nests happen. So I have to catch up here. Which one did you get, Jana? Oh, yeah, I don't know that brand at all. I know I'm hump jumper crazy. Sounds like something awful, doesn't it? But yeah, it really does make a huge difference in sewing. Yeah, just always there. I have like three of them, and they're always laying here because, and I've even used it on my cover stitch a little bit, not a whole lot, but when I had something thick to go over, I just sneaked it under a little bit, and it did help. But I don't know if you're really supposed to use them with cover stitch. Definitely not with a serger. I wouldn't use it with a serger. Oh yeah, that's another thing, is to make sure. I've had that happen when you can't see the take up lever because it's so nicely hidden back here. But if the thread like pops off of that, that's another thing that'll cause that, because it just takes all the tension, makes the tension all different. Hello, Lola. Nice to see you. A British brand. That'd be interesting to see that sometime. Yeah, they're super cool. Where'd my yellow one go? If I didn't put it in the drawer, I'm gonna be mad. It probably flew. Sometimes when you're done with it sewing, it'll fly. Just fly some random place. It's probably back behind my sewing machine. That's the only thing I have a grabber for in here, because I can't bend down. I can't get on my knees. So I'm usually using it to pick up a hump jumper that flew. It's here somewhere. I have two of them, but apparently not finding some. I think smells something hot here. I don't know. Hopefully nothing's burning. But anyway, yeah. So let's see. Quilters use leaders and enders. Yep, same. That's the same principle. Leaders and enders. It's just plastic. Um, Excuse me 1 minute. Something smells like it's burning, and I just need to make sure everything's cool in my house here. Kev? Kevin? Kev? Kevin, what's burning? What's burning? What was it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought something was burning in the house. Okay. Whew. Sorry about that, guys. My husband started up the lawnmower and it was chugging out some blue smoke, so he doesn't know what's wrong with it. Sorry for that, but I didn't want to. I thought he was outside, and I thought if something downstairs is burning, I didn't want to just leave it. Basically, didn't want to get trapped up here. So, sorry. I've never had to do that before on a live, but it just was like, it's really strong, and I thought something is burning. I did a test run of scraps on a single layer of the rayon in my baby lock. Yeah, sure, we'll go over it just fine. It, I'm not afraid of those kind of fabrics. You just have to make sure that the starting of them is the thing, because if you don't give it, you know, ample some kind of a starter or a hump jumper or something, sometimes if you don't have it back far enough, it's just going to pull it down. Whether it's a baby lock or a Janome or no matter what kind of machine, it's just you have to give it something to hang on to. Yeah, sorry guys, but I did need to be safe. He said, "You can smell it all the way up there." And I said, "Yes." I guess it, so he's going to have our lawnmower looked at or something. Or maybe he just, I don't know, who knows. Something was blocking it or something. But he's already mowed once this year, so I don't think it's like the first time he started it up. No, no time for a fire is right. Um, yeah, do you know how much fabric would burn? Oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about it. Um, yeah, yep, you're right, Verna. That's definitely, I think it kind of happens to everybody once in a while, that nesting. No matter how, it's bugging me, no matter how long you've had a machine or how new it is or how jazzy it is, you know, you can't prevent some things from being difficult, and thin fabrics are one of them. You know, if I didn't start, you know, either one of these fabrics I showed you, if I didn't use something to get it going, it probably would, it might go, but then there'd be like a little pucker at the end. You ever had that? Like where it gets going okay, but the right where you started, it's a little puckery. And you think, oh, well, that's going to be on the seam allowance anyway. So you just let it go, right? But yeah, there's a always, you know, if you use a hump jumper to start, you won't have any of that. So, and a walking foot helps somewhat. I mean, I have the AccuFeed foot for this, and it'll help a little bit, but it'll still, if it's not where it can catch everything, it'll still do that. Thank you, Teresa. I'm glad it worked for you. So, so yeah. Um, so this couple weeks, I don't know if you saw my video that I put up yesterday, but um, I gave one method for making pattern adjustments yesterday. And I will be doing a couple more, but I want to simplify the steps enough to teach it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm working on that. I can do it, but I just want to work on it enough to be able to teach it in a legible way for you guys. I don't want it to be so confusing. So, because vector programs can be super confusing. And I mean, I know them only because of photography. Most people don't use that kind of software. So, I'm gonna just, you know, take my time and get the steps down so I don't, okay, we do that. No, wait a minute, we got to do this. I was listening. What made me think of this is I was actually listening to a seminar that somebody did for this jewelry that I started to sell. And she was talking about getting your business going and all that. And she was all over the place. And I was like, I can't, I just was so confused by everything she said. And so I just don't want to be like that ever when I explain something. So I just want to get it like written down into steps before I share it. So the next two methods are going to come after my trip. Okay, so, but I have other videos planned. I have the Cassidy review, which is the dress behind me. I have a top and a dress that I did. And I'm going to redo my pattern organization video because somebody asked me, more than one somebody. I've had probably 3 requests for how to use that patterns app. And I realized that when I did that video before, I was putting big 4 patterns in there and I was not putting in the um, indie patterns. So I need to redo that and show you some new features that are on there. So I'm going to update that one. So that's coming. And oh wow, sirens out there. It's crazy around here today, I guess. Um, I'm also going to do. Um, I thought of a whole bunch of them earlier before I got online, but I see this is what I don't want to do when I'm teaching you about projector. I just when I want to learn information, I want it in an organized way, and I try to do my videos that way, and I think that's why a lot of people t- tell me they like the way I teach. So um, I don't ever want to teach something until I have that in steps where I can give it to you. It's hard sometimes, especially when it's not easy to pin down. So, but I will be just will I'm gonna delay it till I know I can do it without getting you more confused. So let's see. Yeah, I do too, Vern. I love that app, and I think it's worth redoing because I can show how I pull the PDF patterns in there and stuff. So I think it's worth updating. Um, there's a couple little things like that I'm going to cover, and I think there'll be the pattern review whenever the testing is done is coming on the new Love Notions, and there's a few other ones I want to do. So, and then I'm going to have some videos, at least one a week while I'm gone, that I do before I leave. And then when I get back, I am going to film my I'm not wearing anything that I didn't make in Mexico, pretty much. Maybe there might be one piece or something, but it's all going to be me made. So I'm going to um, have my husband film me every day in it, take photos, or else maybe I can do a little video twirl or something. And then I'm going to put it together and do a Mexico reveal. Those were all the things I was making last year that when I was going to Mexico and I said I was going to have a reveal. This year, God willing, I'm going to actually do it. So that'll be when I get back. Yeah, they were loud. I think they were right out here. We're less than half a mile from where I-75 and the turnpike cross each other. So it's quite the busy interchange right there. And we have a Costco right there and all kinds of stuff. So, and it's not that we live in a quiet neighborhood, but that is all not very far from here. So we hear a lot of sirens here. The Cassidy, what is the Cassidy? The Cassidy is this, and it's very versatile pattern. It's this maxi that I made. This is 5 out of 4 patterns, and I am going to be reviewing that one. I did the top and a dress. I did a sleeveless top. Not a sleeveless. I did a short sleeve top and the dress. And I love it. I love that pattern. I may even make one more before I leave. It's so good. It's just goodness all the way around. Really lovely pattern. Nice staple, and it's also in kid sizes. So if you wanted to do something, mommy and me for Mother's Day, it would be a great pattern to do. Let's see, let me catch up here. Let's see. Let's have another. Oh, yes, let's do. I would love that. I would love to do that. I'll work on that. I'll work on that. I don't know about maybe just when I first get back, or we get back like the day before Mother's Day. So I don't know if I'll have a chat that next day. But maybe we could do something in that week sometime. That'd be fun. I'd love to do that. We should all get dressed up and like we did on Christmas Eve. If you weren't around, then we actually had a Zoom on Christmas Eve. Those of us who had some, I think there were about 5 of us there, and it was so much fun to just see, like, because what especially fun for me because I didn't just talk to words. I was talking to pictures of you, and it was wonderful. So yeah, we'll do that again for sure. Kathy's getting her COVID vaccine tomorrow. Yep. Are you just getting? Are you doing the one that's a one timer, the Johnson? I had my second Moderna last week. That's what made last week so awful. I hate to tell you, I was super sick, but 12 hours and then you're fine. So just it's even if you get sick, it's not for very long. But that was my second shot, and so by this Wednesday, it'll be 2 weeks after, and I'm good to go. I'm loving it. I actually was down talking to a little boy today that at church that I got closer to him than we've been able to, and it felt so good to talk to this little guy because I used to babysit him. So it was great. It was really great to see his little smiles. I didn't quite get snuggles yet, but I will pretty soon. One lady charging $3.99 for what's that? Who's charging $3.99 for a Zoom invite? That's crazy. I mean, I can see it. A lot of people will do that for their Patreon. If I ever get my Patreon going, I'm going to do that with Zoom and do classes that way for sure. I might even just do that through like Eventbrite or something and just do classes every now and then instead of doing all the time. I don't know. I go back and forth on that. I don't want to get myself in a place where I am not able to keep up. So I'm protective of that somewhat. So I want to give everything to you guys. So I don't want to like be so distracted that I don't get everything done. It's hard sometimes to fit in filming and editing and sewing and life and grandkids and church. I'm the worship leader at church, and so Easter week I was so sick, and then we had Easter, and yeah, it's just it made it crazy. But I'm just counting down for the vacation because we just need this vacation so bad. Let's see. No side effects from either shot. Lucky you, Verna. Oh, wow. You're still waiting for dates? Hmm. Oh, Dee, thank you. Well, when I do a Patreon, it's going to be worth it because I'm not going to just do it and then not deliver. I won't do that. So, when I do, I'm going to have things planned ahead of time and, um, make sure that I have time to do it and do it right. So, oh, maybe. That's true. It yeah, because on mine I'm only allowed to have I think 200. I have a pro one, but I think it's still like only 100 or 200 people at a time. So on Zoom, that is. So yes, if you, I think that there's higher ones where it's an actual webinar, and then they have a lot more, and then they charge a lot for that. Wow, cool. How sick were you with COVID, Deb? Who's talking of classes? Brunda's? Oh, Brenda's talking of classes. 3.99. Yeah. Yep. Chris, my husband's new job is wonderful. He loves it. It seems pretty secure because he's the only structural engineer in the company, and it's not a consulting company. That's where the unstableness came from when he was always working for consult. He was a consultant and he was middle management, so he was always the most expensive and the newest. Because once you start, he quit one job for another, a better one. But then what happened is that one didn't last very long, and so then he was the new guy every single time things went down. So this though is not a consulting firm. It is a actual company where the guys go out in the back, uh, the fab shop, and make what he's designing. So um, it it's not like somebody outside. They have to go recruit work from outside. So it's very interesting, and he really likes it a lot. He says he's working with sort of guys that work in a shop, and he's never done that before. So he said he's heard words he's never heard before, which is really funny. But yeah, he really likes it a lot. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. Well, Tracy, you be sure and join us when we are going to do it again really soon. So you had mild symptoms, Deb. My son had fever and chills for 2 days. That's it, and then he was COVID positive, but it was flying through his work, and it was almost inevitable. Even though everybody had masks on, there were just so many people that had it that he got it, and but he wasn't sick at all. But you know, then you have like, it's just so random. It's like Russian roulette to know whether or not you would be the one that would get that sick. I mean, um, look at Joey's husband, and I have another friend who's knows a baby that's really sick with COVID and critical. It's just an awful thing for some people. So, um, yeah, it's just so hard to know. How do you know if you'd be one of those people or not? I mean, I know the stakes go up when you're, you know, in your 60s, like, you know, some of us are, but, and I know not everybody, but I know some of us are. I'm not the only one, I'm sure. And so those stakes go up. But I've heard, my doctor told me he had a 28-year-old runner, and now he had COVID, and now he will never run again because he's on oxygen for the rest of his life. So it's like it really does hit everybody, every age. And this guy was really healthy, I guess. So it's just hard to know. I froze. Ugh, goodness. Oh, good. At least the sound is coming. Well, let me go see. Something might have popped up on my phone. Now it's going to unfreeze. Yep, my low battery popped up on my phone. So it's okay. I still have a long time. But that's what happened. That's what made it freeze. That's what made it freeze. Sorry for the noise. I just bumped my microphone. So sorry about that. Technology is great when it works. I told the guy fixing our, you know, on the phone fixing our internet, I said, I have, I'm a YouTuber and I have a live session today. You've got to get it up by 3 o'clock. He felt sorry for me, so I think that's why we got it up so fast. Well, at least I didn't freeze with a bad look on my face. That would have been worse, Pat. Oh, how awful. I'm glad I didn't have. I've heard, I think more people with Johnson and Johnson's have side effects than the other ones, and I think it's because it's you're getting it all at once. Maybe I don't know. That's my theory, is that um, it's a lot of side effects because they're putting it all in at once. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was my thought. Yep, you are right, Joey. You if you don't know, you have it, and I know, you know, even though I'm vaccinated, you know, when I go places, even if I'm not afraid of getting it, I'm still going to wear a mask because I could be carrying it and not know. Wow. That's the only one you have there. Hmm. So, Jana, how did you get to South Africa? I'd love to hear that. Like, is your husband from there? Because I know you have family here, because you have said before. So, how did you get to South Africa? Yeah, I've heard that too about Moderna. I had Moderna, and I had, I would say, pretty bad side effects with the second one, very mild with the first, and knocked out with the second one pretty much for a day. So, but so it's hard to say. Oh, praise God! What missionary organization are you with, Jana? That's amazing. I wondered if you were a missionary family when you were talking about being home on kind of furlough. My niece is a missionary, And she's not there anymore. There's still missionaries to the same area, but they're actually doing it through social media because the area is closing to the gospel pretty much. And they were with Wycliffe. They are now with Global Heart Missions, I think, but they were in a country in Central Asia, and it was a Muslim country, and it was right there among all the stands, but it wasn't a stand, so we called it "is not a stand" because we weren't allowed to say where they were. So she was in "is not a stand." Oh, cool! Wow, praise God for you. I would love it if you added me to your prayer partner list. I would love to get your updates, Jana. If um, if you want to, you just to send to my email. I'd love to hear and pray for you. We have missionaries in our family, like I said, so um, and some good friends as well. So would have loved to have done that someday, but I don't think it's in the cards now that we're 63. But yeah, I think if I was as mature in the Lord then as at hindsight, I kind of wish we'd done that, but it's just we weren't called, I guess. You have to be called. Oh wow, Verna says her friends are in the DRC Congo. They've been told not to get the vaccine there because of uncertainty of its contents and not tested. They will have to wait until September. Yeah, that's true. But actually, it it wasn't new technology to the vaccines were not new technology. That's one thing that people get hung up on. My doctor explained to me how it's such a miracle because there was this person working on a way to like to work to do the mRNA stuff to change up our own cells to fight the disease. And there was this other person working on a way to get things into a cell. And they didn't know each other, and their work didn't cross. And then because of COVID, they somehow came together, and that's how the vaccine was made. And so my doctor, when I asked him about getting it, and he said, I just see the hand of God all over it, that it was meant to be. um, and I thought that was a really good way to look at it. I'm still concerned. It's been tested, but not as long as it should. But I mean, he said, well, it's the devil you know versus the devil you don't. And that what the devil you don't is how would COVID affect you? You don't know. You could be like, you know, have no symptoms or mild symptoms, or you could be like Joey's husband, or other people that we know that have been really really sick. So you have to um, you have to just decide for yourself. I'm not preaching on vaccines or no. I mean, if you don't want it, my kids don't want anything to do with it, but and I respect that, and truly, the one thing they don't know is how it will affect childbearing women and that kind of thing. So I can understand them not doing it, but at our age, I just felt like it was kind of a no brainer. But I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know. You just have to do what my doctor said to me. Made me feel a lot better. Yeah, I don't blame you, Jana, because I've heard Johnson and Johnson is really really hard. Yeah. Where in the U.S. do you come when you come home? medical in the Congo. Yeah, I can imagine. Wow. Yes, absolutely, Patricia. You are so right. And I wasn't trying to negate any feelings or nervousness about that at all. Everybody has to make their own mind up. Yep, agreed, Libby. Me too. You're in what part of Texas? My brother is in San Antonio, and my niece, the one who's the missionary, is actually in Dallas area. Um, they weren't in Dallas before, but they are now. Oh, cool. We usually would probably miss you because we go on Thanksgiving to my brother's in San Antonio, so not quite December yet. But yeah, I love Texas. I don't have too much of a. I don't have to be talked too much into going. I could, yeah, sure, I'll go. I love it down there. I'd move back if it weren't for my grandkids. We lived in Conroe when we lived there, so if you live in Houston, you know where Conroe is. It's just up the road. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, ladies, I could talk with you forever, but it's after 4 and I know you all have lives to get back to. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your day with me. And if you are new here and this is like, and you're like, this isn't sewing related, that's why I call it a QA, but also fellowship and chat. Um, if I have not seen a question, please, please, please email it to me or put it on the Facebook group. Um, I definitely mean this to be places where people can ask questions. So if you there was a question that I didn't see or didn't get answered enough, please do that. But I hope that you join us because I think we have a pretty cool little group here going of people who just really care about each other and we care about our sewing journeys, but we care about our whole life journey too. Let's see. You too, Brenda. Have fun. Yep. Everyone have a great day. I will be here next week, hopefully, for Sunday chat, provided the creek doesn't rise and, Lord willing. And then after that, I will be gone probably 3 weeks because I will be gone 3 Sundays. Um, but I will be popping up some quick little videos or something on the Facebook group for you guys. So um, I'll update you guys on what we're doing. How is it going? And hopefully, I won't end up having to stay. If you test positive, you can't come home for 14 days. So hopefully, that won't happen to us. So, whether you're vaccinated or not now, I guess. So, um, that's just, they won't let you back in the U.S. So, even a citizen. So, um, if I end up having to stay, we've already covered the fact that the resort covers it. If you have to stay, they put you up and give you meals and everything. But hopefully, nobody really has to do that. But just in case, if I'm not here for 5 weeks, you know why. So, take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you this week in the videos. Take care. Jana, email me your newsletter.